Hey guys, sleigh bells ring. Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? Let's maybe there's going to be a bit of singing. I promise I won't do too much. I'm excited for this. Let's get started on this fun painting. Good morning and welcome to Deliberately Creative, or afternoon or evening, whatever time of day it is. I hope that you are having a spectacular morning, evening, afternoon. If you're just getting up, welcome to the morning. I'm done with that. That's enough of that. I'm kind of mixed up today on my daytime, morning, afternoon thing because this is a noon time for me, but I've already cooked dinner for my husband to take to work tonight. So I am really excited. We're going to be doing this jingle bell. And my husband brought these jingle bells in for me. My sister brought over a fun Christmas caroling basket because we're not going to get to do the annual Christmas caroling party at her house. So she brought over this basket and it had 2 sets of these jingle bells. And it's really cool because we can actually use that as a physical object to get some of our reflections for the inside here. Even though these bells are a different shape, they still give us some of the idea of what's going on. Welcome everyone. If you are in the snowstorm in the Northeast, stay warm, stay dry, stay inside with a hot cup of something, and enjoy watching the show. If you are somebody who has, my gosh, I'm watching to see if people start coming in. I've got a few people. Thank you so much, Suzanne and Linda, for being here. Mary, I really appreciate you guys. If you would like to share this video out on social media, that is an awesome thing to do. And we're just going to get started. We're going to have fun. And I'm just close up. So looking at this, I do have a reference here. This reference came from Adobe stock. And so I can't put it in the video. Maybe I could, but I don't want to leave it up there. But I do have a printout of it. And something I just realized, there were some little stars in this back part here. So I'm going to put just a little bit of the idea of a star back here. I'm not worried about making it perfect. It's just going to be dark. And there was one down here. So doodling our way through the day, finding a little peace, finding a little quiet, calming, fun time. That's going to be painted in dark, so not too worried. And I moved it over. See? Just a little bit. Hey there, Teresa and Kristen. Welcome, welcome. I see folks coming over from the Art Sherpa had a really pretty window today with icicles. And after this, if you haven't seen her thing, you can pop over and check out her video that she did this morning. It's pretty with these blue jays and this golden glow of candles in a window. Ah, I loved it. Hello, Miss Amy. Love the stars. Yeah, and that's something you can put any shape back there. If you wanted hearts, put hearts back there. I still haven't figured out the background. Because my reference just was gray, and I don't want just a gray-white background. So I'm trying to think, unless we want to just have this be maybe sort of a soft golden glow, maybe the oranges and yellows like candlelight. Just the whole thing is filled with candlelight. Ooh, that is pretty. Yeah, I didn't go until I knew Sherpa was getting to the end when I started getting ready. So yeah, I think we're going to go with a golden glow. I'm taking my my wide brush, and if you're interested in the doodles where I came up with all of these designs, I did them during a live marathon. I know those of you who are here with me all the time, you guys have heard the spiel. I did it during a massive marathon, 8.5 hours. And just did it. I said I'm going to stay until I get them all done. I'm going to do another marathon too. for New Year's Eve. I need to get that one scheduled so people know that it's coming. We're going to be doing the theme of Cozy January. And I just found out that January is the National Tea Month. So it's perfect that I'm going to be doing cups and teapots and coffee cups and warming drinks and doodles. We may even end up with some watercolor landscapes on teapots because I figure teapots have nice big sides. We can wrap a landscape around them. Maybe make some treats to go with tea or coffee. I need a question answered from you guys. Is it okay to eat gingerbread cookies for breakfast with your coffee or your tea? Let me know. Any kind of Christmas cookie or wintry warm cookie. I like gingerbread in the morning because it's got kind of a spiciness to it. Sort of gets your day started. Maybe Santa... You know what? A lot of people have done Santa hand holding the ornament, and the hand would be way up here. So I don't think Santa hand is going to be holding the ornament, but I am going to go in with sort of a yellowy glow. So we're going to start by going in and dropping in some yellow. And I got the paper all wet. I'm going to say that maybe this is hanging in front of the candles. So you're going to have that glow coming through the glass behind it. But then you're going to have the glow coming around it out here. You notice I'm leaving a bit of an edge so that I can put my orangey or slightly darker tone around it. The inside of a ball reflects the light around it. It also sort of compresses the scene around it. Oh, this is going to be pretty. Brownies for breakfast. Brownies for breakfast are also good. I think, personally, my thought is that if you make your baked goods with yummy, wholesome ingredients like, the flour that you can eat, the eggs, if you use applesauce in place of the fat, I think that works out really, really well. Okay, so just softening that out around there. And now I'm going to take a bit of an orangey tone. Start getting that glow darkening up as it goes away from where the candlelight is. This is making it up. I do not have a reference figured out for this. I was inspired by the art Sherpa this morning and her glowing candly window. And I thought, well, maybe, on the fly right now, I can figure out how to do that in watercolor. So I'm just getting those outside to the corners a little bit darker. I think I'll pick up a little bit of some burnt sienna. Sort of shade up get the shadowy bit out here in the very outside edge. Yeah, so this Jingle Bell especially reminds me of the Polar Express. One of my favorite books, Chris Van Allsburg wrote. I love the story. I love the imagery. If I could, I could learn how to draw just like him, but then it wouldn't be me drawing. So I am inspired by people who learn how to do things later. He learned how to draw. He drew when he was a kid. Chris Van Allsburg, he did Jumanji, and he did, the book illustrations, and he did his Polar Express, and he did, oh gosh, there's a whole bunch of books that he's done. I'm just working that color around and going, I need a little bit of that darker orange on the inside now. Inside the ball, kind of glowing. But yeah, he drew up. He was laid off from work for a while, and he was a sculptor, and he couldn't go out into his studio and sculpt when it was -5. So he started drawing because he remembered drawing as a kid and loved it. And his wife, who knew a publisher because she was a teacher, had said, "Hey, look at these pieces of art my husband is drawing." And the publisher said, "Oh my gosh, we need to sign him on so he can do art for us." And he did. He thought it was a one-off gig, and he ended up, drawing became what he did. But it was as an adult that he found that love, that place in his heart again for the artwork that he had done as a child. Okay, so I am, yes, Polar Express. I'm going to grab a bit more of that yellow again. Just working it out here to the edges. And I think, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe we could put a little bit of some effect of bokeh. I think maybe we'll do that. We'll just remove some color. And this is not a perfect circle, so it's just going to kind of give us some very soft. Maybe that's not going to pick it up well. Ah, there. I just needed a clean side on my sponge. Magic lights. Just want to make it feel a little bit more magical. Let's see here. I'm just grabbing a chunk of sponge, and I'm just going to kind of fold it down so I have a soft edge. And let's see what that does. That does not do anything. Maybe I do need that slightly cut edge on it. See, maybe I need a little bit of water. Oh, needed a little bit of water. We're just giving it a little bit of some magical lighting. And then I think I'm going to just take a small brush and drop some little bits of light. Oh yes, when the ticket gets lost in the wilderness. That is one of my favorite spots also. I'm going to go ahead and put like a bright center in these lights. I'm making this up. I'm not sure if this is even going to work, guys, so you might want to wait for a second and see if you like how it looks before you do that. It's all up to you. Remember, it's your artwork, and you can experiment and explore. You don't have to put perfect circles in there. Right now it looks a little polka dotty, so maybe I will put a little emphasis. I'm going to do a little emphasis of some light. These are not stars. These are like little glowy lights. But because we're on such a bright background, it's a little hard to see, so I'm just taking that white. Haha, I like that. These could be, you know, magical fairy lights. The ball looks like it's got a bit of a power glow going on. We'll dry this in just a second. And who knows, we might go in and put a little bit of sparkle after the fact. But this already has a bit of a sparkly glow going now. Boom, I love that. The bell itself is going to actually be very dark. Oh, I already went around and did all the spots. Haha, yep, there's going to be some jingle belling. Magical lights. There we go. You know, sometimes when things are at their start, so the motion capture animation that they used in the Polar Express, I mean, they pretty much created a lot of the techniques used in that. And much of the animation, you know, was done by, or much of the motion capture was done with Tom Hanks. So he did the motion capture for the boy. He did the motion capture for the conductor and dad and the hobo and for Santa. So, you know, it was all brand new. They've gotten better as time has gone on. You know, if you watched the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol, that was all done the same way with the motion capture, and you can tell the difference in the quality of the animation and their ability to get more life in the eyes. I think that's really where the Polar Express, the movie, even though I love the movie, I watch it several times during the holidays. I don't have any kids at home, and I still watch it, guys, because the animation is, and the story is still so wonderful. And the way they translated Van Allsburg's art and artistry into it just makes me really happy. And it is very inspiring, the story and the backgrounds and things. But they're getting better with their motion capture and such. So, you know, it bothers me a little bit with the eyes not being very lifelike in Polar Express, but I still watch it. So I'm just going back in and brightening up a few of those magical glow. What do you guys think? You like the magical glow? Or was it too much? Yeah, and some of the characters and such. I mean, again, it was new technology and new animation. Even though it was done in a computer, people still did all the drawing. You know, and it's not like you can just say, that's you know, all there was to it. They just said, here's the motion capture and now make me characters. There's so many layers to it. And different animators have different feel about their characters and techniques. I am looking at this and going, what do I see here? Now mine is going to have a bit of a glow. It's probably going to go, you know, because I've got all that gold going or yellow going on around here. I may take this into a slightly warmer tones. You can see where on this, the brown of the strap, you can see it reflecting here. I think because we've got all that gold around, I'm going to do a very soft yellow. very, very soft yellow for basically the undertone of the whole thing. So just a little bit of yellow. The holes in here are going to go really dark, almost black, but there's a little touch of it right there that's just going to show what's going on behind it. We've already got it painted in, not going to have to worry about it. I'm not putting that reference up, but I can set my jingle bell here. Let's see, let's go like that. So you can kind of see how you see a little bit of the light coming through the slit. You see mostly the darkened tone. This is going to be still into that darker tones. It's reflecting, basically it's reflecting what's around it. So this is reflecting the light, but it's also, I'm going to say, reflecting my black sweater because I'm standing in front of it. So we get that multiple colors in there. There's a little bit of light down inside there. Yeah. Well, the Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey was a couple years later, and they had developed their skills more. I'm going to zoom in and focus. Yeah, so I can talk authoritatively. I can speak with authority on, because I watched the I watched the extras for the Christmas Carol and the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol and the Polar Express. And this year I even saw the extra with Chris Van Allsburg talking about how he got into doing illustration. All right, so I need to dry that so I can go in and start putting my darker reflection tones in and start building it up. Oh, I might want to put a... What color should the ribbon be while we're getting this nice and dry? Yeah, I am a fan of the making ofs. So, looking at my thing right here, we've got kind of a blue-gray going on also. That's why I needed to dry that and have it be fairly light. I'm going to take the Prussian blue, because it's got a bit of black to it, and a little bit of the black, that wimpy black. It's right down, let's see, right down here. Oh, fiddly dee. Oh well, I will just have to be able to put this up on Tangi, I'm going to have to edit. Because I did not, well, I want to get this partially recorded here. Come on. Sorry, video. Bigger. I can get the bell in at least, right? There we go. And I'm going to have to download it from the internet because I didn't even hit start recording on my computer. Oh my goodness gracious. Such a person I am today. I don't want it to turn... Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Whew! I hope that didn't stop it on the screen. All right, so I am going to go in and start putting a bit of this darker tone. And if we look here, it's going to be more yellow on the back. It's going to be darker on the top. It's going to have a bit of that yellow right here. So I'm looking at this going, maybe we'll get our dark color down inside first. And I'm using the Mimic number 12 Creative Mark Round. Boy, 12 round mimic by Creative Mark. There we go. The brushes and everything are listed on my Amazon store. And if you want access to all of my designs for this project, I did do a downloadable book. I had somebody who came back and said that they were very disappointed that it was a coloring book, and I was a little bit surprised, but I can understand why somebody would be maybe disappointed, because the designs look, and we're going to let that dry for a second. The designs look very, very simple. But what it does is it gives you room to be able and create your own. There. I put mine in the wrong order in the book, so in my printout. But that's just the way I picked up the pieces of paper. See? So it's very simple. And people think, well, that's just a kid's book. But it's not, because see how we're moving it into using it as the reference, the basis, to build a whole scene. I did the hard part. I drew it in perspective. I gave it a place for you to develop it into more. I hope that helps. But it's also a really fun coloring book. And so if you give it to a kid, let them color it. You can print out as many copies of it for your use and your gift giving at home as you want to do. Just don't sell it. Don't put it up in your Etsy store and sell it as yours. It's mine. But you can certainly print it out and use it for your personal use. Make your cards for your family. Make your art for yourself. Make it for gifts. My evening show, so I have 2 shows on Friday. Friday morning, I have a workshop over on Tangi at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm doing the sleepy gnome, the old man sleepy gnome with the big beard that we've already done here on the channel as a live stream. So you do have that option to go back and check that out. And then 6 p.m. on Friday evening, we will be doing I believe it is the penguin. So we're going to do the penguin. And I drew it as a donut, but you know what? That donut can be a wreath, it can be a donut, it can be whatever you want it to be. So this will be tomorrow at 6 p.m., Friday, Pacific time. And that is December 18, 2020. So time traveling. Yeah, time traveling, definitely. I am going to grab some of that dark now. And what color did we decide, guys? Green? Yeah, green. All right, so I'm looking at this going, we've got dark tone, it comes up and it's a dark tone. We're leaving a rim of light around the opening. I'm just starting to lay in some of these darker tones, but not totally dark, guys. And I'm going to get it wet and sort of let that flow around, become a little bit lighter, working its way up. We're much lighter back here around this one. And we come across, there's a bit of a darker tone. Notice I didn't go back and get any more color on my brush. I'm still just using the color that I put down on the paper. If I need a little bit more, I might go over and pick it up right here. And then I see there's sort of a dark tone here coming around. There's a bit of light on top, so I'm not going to cover all of that shiny bit up. All right. So if you need to take a screenshot of the bell. I'm not going to be posting this bell as a download in my information. So if you want a reference, go ahead and take a screenshot. All right. I'm going to soften that up. It's very soft, but it does have a bit of the metal tone to it and its reflection. There's a bit of dark right here. I'm going to pick up just a smidge of paint now. Sort of ran out my brush. Bit of dark right there. Bit of darker right here. By having that yellow in there, you see how it's toned it and makes it feel like we're getting reflections from the light. Ah, Amy, well, happy birthday today. And if you stick around, I may even sing a happy birthday song at you. And it is definitely singing it at you. And it is my friend Heather's song from when back in the day. It's not a Christmas song though. It's not a holiday. It's not a holiday Christmas song or birthday song. So, let's see. I need a spot of darker right back here, so I'm just grabbing some more of that paint. I see that darker area here, which means I need to leave a little sliver of some light. A little bit. It's just reflecting the stuff that's going on around it. So I'm going to say that that part of the bell needs to be darkened up. And I do need to go inside the stars and darken them. This is the type of painting that you can work it as much as you want. You're not limited. So Tangy is an app. It's done by Google. It is a new one. It's actually becoming very popular in India, which is really cool. It's making my audience even more international. And it's growing in popularity here in the United States. So it's an app that I do small 1 minute. I can actually do 2 minutes at the max because I have not finally, I've been there for a while, but I've gone over the threshold to get to be able to go over a minute now. So I can go up to 2 minutes. I still try to keep them around a minute long. Videos, and most of them are speed videos that help people to see quick and easy, fun projects. When I first started, I was doing a lot of actual real time, and I think I'm going to try and go back and do a few more real time quick draws. I want to get that a little darker there. So I'm just working some darkness up. Inside the star needs to be dark. I'll darken it up a couple times, layer up the paint. But I want to go back and soften some of these reflections out just a bit. Make it feel a little bit more like it's just softly reflecting. There we go. So yeah, Tangy is great. It's a fun place, and you can, if you do this, once I post my little Tangy video for it, you can share your artwork with me over on Tangy. Because they have a thing right on the video where you can click try it and you can share your artwork. So I know that a few of my patrons are over on Tangy, and we can do a little chat on Patreon about, oh, that's looking really cool, isn't it? Look at that. About Tangy and about how it works. I think I want to let this rest for a second. I don't want to push it too far too fast. So, but I do see I want to soften that. And my brush is just barely damp, and I'm able to just work this paint. Now this is 100% cotton watercolor paper. When you are working your paint, if you push it too much on wood pulp paper, it might start to pill on you. So just be gentle when you are lifting your colors or working on your colors. I want to put a little dark right there. Since this is inside of a glass ball, the light still is going to do weird things. Oh, and the first painting you're going to do for the new year is dedicated to our deliberately creative group. Oh, that is so sweet. Doing a painting a month. A painting a month is a very, very doable goal. I mean, I'm kind of I'm being an overachiever right now and doing a painting a day, at least one painting a day, live in front of you guys. Oh, that is really looking good. I want that a little darker. See, putting layers, layering up that paint, layering up the colors, the transitions. Make that one a little bit darker. Pull it in just a bit. Yeah, that's looking good. All right, we need a green bow. I saw green for the bow. So if you want to participate in the workshops, you need the app to sign up, but you can use your computer to go to the workshops. You can use your computer to watch the videos, but if you want to do the try it, you need to use the app. So, you know, little things like that. Let's see, can I get this kind of around in a angle sort of like what we're seeing? Ooh, we're even getting some of that glow of the... That worked. That works. All right, I'll just leave it right there for a minute. I am going to take kind of this pretty olivey green and I'm going to put that in sort of where the shadows are. And truthfully, you don't have to pay super close attention to where the shadows are in my original drawing. You can make yours shadow up differently. There we go. Thank you, Joyce. Yeah, the bell is doing really well. Yeah, Kristen. I did a lot of paint pouring and I just kind of burned out on it. So I went back to my first love, which is drawing. Drawing and learning something new still, because I'm learning the watercolor stuff. And just having fun. Really and truly, just having fun is the most important part of it. So if you are... I just picked up a kind of bright or different tone of green. I'm going to work it in. Probably wasn't the best choice of green, but you know what? I can work it. Just maybe it's the way the light is hitting it, it's changing it. Have you ever seen, those duo color, color changing, color shifting paints, right? All right, so I just gave an extra plop right here. I'm not real happy with. I'm just going to go and clean up that little spot that went outside my ribbon. I wasn't paying attention, I was talking. And that's the thing here, guys. So I start talking and things start happening, eh? Gonna keep working with that other green though. Because I like actually how we're getting some interesting transitions. It is a darker tone, so maybe I'm shifting where my shadows are. Maybe that olivey color is going to become the highlight. That's interesting. See? I think that's what I'm doing. The olive tone, that little bit more natural tone, is becoming the highlight. So I'm just going to work that green back just a little bit. And put some of that olive. Oh, yeah. Serendipity. Things that happen without being planned sometimes are like the coolest. And I can take a little bit of gouache in and make even more highlights. See, and that was part of my problem with the pouring, is that I wanted to maybe do some larger ones, and when I did, I didn't really get any views on it for my videos. So it was fun to do, but I didn't get very many views on my big pour. I did that ginormous pour. It was the funniest video. I believe I still have it available on my channel. I did go through and clean up a lot of the pouring videos have been put to private right now, and I'm testing YouTube to see if they will start sharing my drawing and painting videos more if I don't have so much pouring on my channel. You know? It's just one of those, I have to play with the algorithm a little bit and see what it wants to share. Because right now it doesn't feel like it's sharing my stuff as much as it should be. You know? We're working on getting to that 100,000 mark, and I know that it is just a number, but it's just a number that I want. And I just need to, maybe I just need to relax on that a little bit, but Jiminy Christmas, I want that 100,000. I want the 100,000 silver button so that I can celebrate with my community. And I know that I'm going to get there. I know that it's going to happen. And I know that right now what's happening is people who aren't interested in my regular painting videos are finding other places to go, and they're cleaning up their personal subscription feeds. I know that. I do the same thing. I clean up, and that means that somebody has lost a subscriber. It's not being mean. It's just you only can watch so many videos or so many creators. And I'm just playing with those greens, going back and forth and seeing what I like. We're going to zoom out. We're going to zoom out. Whoa. Look at that, guys. That is making me super, super happy. I really, really like that. I think we'll zoom back in now. Yeah, pouring is a lot of fun. You can do a lot of things with it, but if you want something that is small and clean and easy to work on, watercolor really can't be beat. Ah, you're in a trailer with 3 cats, 2 birds, feathers, and fur are an issue. Absolutely. That's why watercolor is nice, because fur and feathers don't stick to watercolor. I am going to take some of that gouache that's right there that's still on my pad here. It is dry, so I'm just getting it wet. And when you re-wet gouache, it tends to be more sheer. Next month, when I'm doing the cozy stuff, we're going to be doing more with colored gouache paints. I got one of those big Himi jelly cup gouache sets, and I want to play with it. But the nice thing is that it's always soft. Now I'm going to put a highlight right here and a highlight right here on the bell. These are going to be not super bright. They're a little more sheer. I'm going to increase the brightness of that highlight right there. And that little bit of an edge, whoops. Little bit of an edge right here. We have a little bit of a highlight on the bell there. Bit more here. Again, these are soft, not strong highlights. Give a little bit of an edge. A little bit more of an edge right here. A little bit more of an edge right there. That highlight comes out just a smidge. We've got a bit of a highlight on here. Little highlights, soft and sheer. These are going to fade back a little bit when they dry, because I did not use super bright white, super fresh. Oh, and I do want to darken up the inside of those stars. See, little things now. We're getting smaller and smaller with our details until we go in and do the ball. And then we'll go big again for just a second. Right now, I just need to darken up the inside of those stars. And like I said, I did not put the stars on in my original painting or my original drawing. You can put whatever shape you want down inside. On the back of the bell. All right, I'm going to darken up that right there on either side. Darken up that right there. We're just going to use that same dark color. Put a little bit more dark on the cap. See how that cap now looks kind of shimmery and metally also. You used to be so quiet in chats, Debbie. Well, it's great that you are finding your that you're finding your voice in here. That's something I love about this group too, is that we all have the ability to share our voice however we want to share it. You know, share your ideas, your thoughts. You know, this is a fun place to chat and to visit, and we're building community. You know, when you take the time to chat and get to know your fellow classmates, it helps. It builds community. It builds the camaraderie. I am going to use, I'm going to go with the old Prussian blue. Very, very pale. Lots of water in it to start off with. I'm going to put that shadow under the edge. The shadow right here at the top of the ball. So we can get that highlight up there on the neck. I'm going to say there's a bit of a shadow down here at the bottom that's maybe ever so slightly darker than the rest of the ball. You know, when you see those hand-blown glass balls, how the light kind of doesn't move perfectly through them, and hand-blown glass balls can have a little bit of a wobbliness to them. So I say our glass balls here are hand-blown, super, super expensive. If you went into the Christmas store to buy one of these balls, it would be one of those ones they have on special little hangers in the behind the counter so that people wouldn't touch them. So I'm just putting some shadow in the back of the ball, right over that yellow that we've got in the background. So we're starting to get places for our highlight to go on. And yeah, we're painting these thin layers, thin glazes of paint right over the top of stuff, right? So now I'm going to take one that's going to go right here over the ball, over the bell, just a glaze. And I don't want to mucky around with them too much. I want these just sort of be where they land, because the glass ball is reflecting light that's all around it also. And I do want a bit more fresh white. This is the Arteza gouache in the tubes. I have a, there's a company that just contacted me. I'm going to play with their gouache a little bit and see how I like it. And that's one of the reasons for next month having more gouache. It's because I've got some different gouache that I want to play with. I have the Arteza gouache. I've got the Hemi gouache. So if you happen to get gouache for Christmas, you'll get to play with it more. But all of the paintings can be done with watercolor also, or with acrylic. Next month when we do our cozy paintings. All right, I just put some highlights on that bell or the holder. I think I'm going to soften them out, but since I have the paint in my brush right now, I am going to say there is a highlight right here. Just a sheer highlight. There's a highlight back there. Let the edge of your brush sort of tail off. Don't make it feel like it's a hard highlight. I'm saying that this is being lit by those magic fairy lights. So there's highlights all around. I love craft malls. Yeah, craft malls where people can bring in their own artwork and share. They are awesome, and they are great for finding holiday gifts. Okay, look at that. Right over the bell, and what does that do? It pushes the bell to the inside. I'm going to say there's a brighter highlight here. And there might be another one of those little magical highlights down here. Just a nice bright highlight. And yeah, I'm putting these lights right over, these highlights right over the bell, right around the, I want to put a little bit of a bright down here. All the little sparkle lights sparkling around it. So this design was part of my 31 days of, or 31 images. They're all prompts that came out of the Doodle Wash 31 days of December. Doodle Wash December 2020. This was Sleigh Bell, day 17. We have our little, lovely jingle bell. I am going to put one more really bright. Bright, right there. Soften that one up a little bit, bright, bright. And now let's zoom this back and see. Actually, I want to soften that edge. See, you can do that. Soften up the edge. I want to see a little bit more through that highlight. There we go. See, you can do that. Because the paint underneath was dry, we can see a little more through that highlight. I'm not real happy, so I'm just working that highlight off a little bit. You're not limited. You can adjust. You can make it feel, yeah, see, it does not need to be quite so dark of a highlight right there. There. I need my bright light up a little bit farther away. That's what it is. See? There we go. That makes me happier. And I think that one needs to be softened out. Again, just don't fuss about not getting something perfect. Just give yourself a chance to take a look and go, ah, see there, that's better. That makes me happier. Dry it. We're going to take the tape off of it, and then we are going to see what it looks like. I think it's pretty good. I mean, look at that. We've got it floating in the middle of the ball here. You can always go in with your pen and strengthen up some lines. I think I'm going to do that right there on the cap. This one went way too fast. It's been an hour. It's been an hour. We've been here. But we had a lot of chatting and a lot of fun going on here. I'm going to take and put a little bit of that dark pen right here and right there, and come back across some of those spots of highlights, so then they become more sparkly. I think I'm going to put a little bit there, and just a couple little spots of that pen in the background there, just a bit. And I want to strengthen up that edge. Right along the edge of the highlight. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I don't need any more than that. And then I say that, and then I go touch it more. All right, no more. No more. Let's zoom out here. And we're going to pull the tape off. That's always the magic part, right? That's the part that gives us the most magic. I see that because I pieced my tape together, it actually bled underneath of it. I worked really, really wet. So if you don't like having those little bits of color just showing up in random places, take a bit of gouache and a small brush. Get that small brush wet. Go into your gouache. And let's just zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. See how that's showing up really bright? I can disguise it. The gouache is the white of the paper, so it makes it really nice. And you can just dab in. And if the paint comes through the gouache, you can always go and put another coat. This makes it really nice for when you are scanning your artwork. And I recommend, if you are making artwork to give to people, scan your artwork so that you have a copy of it. Or take a photo of it, but have a copy of your artwork so that you... Look at that. Ah, yes. So I am going to sign. I'm going to sign inside the ball right next to the ribbon. There we go. So that way it's not as obvious. Give it a half a second, and I might even just blur that just a smidge so it looks like it's inside the ball. How'd we do, guys? Are you enjoying this? Are you having fun with this project? Is this something that you are excited for January to see new things? We're not going to be doing them inside of glass balls because, you know, that's ornaments for the holidays. Any holidays. I'm just softening that line just a little bit. It looked a little bit choppy. Glass is smooth, so I don't need texture on my highlight. There we go. I really enjoyed this. I hope you did too. Make sure to click that like button, subscribe to the channel. 51% of the people watching this channel are not subscribed. 51% of the people watching this video right now might not even be subscribed. So please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, share on your Pinterest, Instagram, wherever you are. Share the artwork that you create from this video with me by tagging @deliberatelycreative. And I want to see you back here again tomorrow, 6 p.m. Friday, for the cute penguin. And we will get to decide if this is a wreath or a donut. You guys get to decide. So be there so you can help me decide. Take care, guys, and we'll see you soon.